Hello, and let's talk about why you are wasting your time and why you're always behind. It's not because you're lazy, and it's not because you lack motivation. Most of us have actually never been taught or given the tools to get things done without burning out. In this video, though, I'm going to give you the exact productivity system that I'm currently building, one that lets me juggle a full-time job, a growing YouTube channel, multiple properties that I mostly manage myself, and other endeavors that I'm trying to build. And I'm managing to right now do it all without chaos because I'm reframing and reshifting the way that I think so that winning is about the right habits. And I want to show you exactly how I am navigating through it. So today I want to talk a little bit about what discipline really means and why hustlers or people who are doing multiple different things at the same time, hustling, you can't live without discipline. And we will also be talking about 6 habits that keeps you grounded in your discipline. And I will also be going through a little bit of my own personal system and some of the tools that keep me consistent. I really want you to be able to understand that discipline truly is freedom, it's power. And the structure that you build unlocks peace, clarity, and growth. Please click that subscribe button if you are interested in learning how to reclaim your time and stop the burnout cycle. And do join us in the Power Move Collective. The link to the Facebook group is in the description below. Hi everyone, welcome to Lessons Lived. My name is Nandi, and if you are new here, I am so glad you found this space. Ours is a community of ambitious women who take action. We leverage our full-time jobs to build scalable side businesses of our own because we know that wealth isn't an escape plan, it's a power move. And your 9 to 5 is your launching pad and not a limitation. So if you are ready, my darling, to turn your career into capital, your expertise into income, and your business into a legacy, then you are in the right place. Let's go ahead and get started on this conversation about discipline. I am personally going through a transformation, rediscovering a lot of things that used to be common to my day-to-day activity and life, but I've kind of found myself through being busy, I've lost touch with a lot of these principles. So I'm kind of coming back and rethinking what has made me successful, right? Especially the past few years, my life has been more chaotic than it has actually been intentional and structured. So I've been really rethinking a lot of these concepts. And most of these things are things you already know. You just need to be reminded of them, right? So what exactly is discipline? Discipline is the ability to stay consistent and committed to your goals, even when motivation wanes. That is really important because it's been hard for me lately to kind of be focused and motivated, especially when you feel like there's chaos in the world, there's chaos in our lives. Discipline is the bridge between your dreams and your reality, right? It enables you to turn your ideas into actionable outcomes. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about developing habits and systems that drive consistent progress. For hustlers or people juggling multiple commitments like ourselves, right, discipline becomes the backbone of productivity. You can't really have productivity without discipline. Without discipline, even the best intentions will fall apart under the weight of competing priorities, challenges, expectations, babies, husbands, boyfriends, etc. Right? So discipline is not about restriction. That is a really important standard to set. A lot of people, when they think of things like discipline, budgeting, they think of restriction. No, discipline is about empowerment. It creates freedom by enabling you to manage your time more effectively, right? And it also helps you to maintain focus on what really matters. Because let me tell you something, every single day, you will have competing things wanting to distract you from what really matters. So when you have discipline and well-established systems, processes, and habits, you're not strayed constantly all over the place, right? You have focus. So let's talk a little bit about why you cannot live without discipline if you are a hustler. A lot of people that I know who are hustlers don't really think about the importance of discipline because they're so busy doing. They never take a step back to process whether or not being busy is actually equated to being productive. When you're managing a full-time job, a side hustle, an educational program, personal responsibility, discipline isn't optional. It's essential. And without it, you risk not just burnout, but you also risk missing out on opportunity and most importantly, wasting your time. And when you don't have a whole lot of time because you're doing a lot of things, time is the one currency you will never get back. So here is how discipline helps you. It helps you, one, stay focused. You avoid distraction and you direct your energy towards your highest priority. That is really important. The second thing it does, it helps you build consistency. Progress happens through small, consistent actions taken over time. Discipline will help you manage stress. That's the third thing. It will help you manage your stress level more effectively. A disciplined approach will help to reduce the chaos of an unstructured life. And let me tell you something, nothing stresses you more than when your life lacks structure. You can't find anything. You're getting ready for a meeting. You're looking for your hair scrunchie. You can't find it. Why? Because you did not take the time to find a place for that scrunchie and put it back every single day at the same place. And the fourth most important reason you need discipline in your life is because it helps you achieve your goals. Discipline ensures that you follow through on your plans no matter how challenging life gets. It is non-negotiable. If you want to succeed, you have got to take the time to do the things you need to do, even on a day like today when I'm exhausted because I've been overworking and I didn't want to be here. I showed up because I know that the community I am trying to build matters. You matter. And me showing up despite being tired matters. So now let's talk about some key discipline habits and skills to develop that would help you in a practical way begin to develop that sense of discipline, right? These are things that I actively do in my life every single day. In order for you to become more disciplined, you need to actually take the time to do the work. You need to develop certain habits that will lead you to a place of becoming more disciplined. You see, discipline comes after your habits. You can't sit here and say, discipline, right? You need to do certain things to get you there. So here are some key discipline habits and skills that you can develop starting today to help you become a little bit more disciplined in your life. The first one, blocking time. Time blocking is critical. Block specific hours for different priorities. This will prevent tasks from bleeding into each other and help you stay more focused. Example, allocate your 5 to 9 for your side hustle, right? 9 to 5, you go to work. 5 to 9 in the evening, you're going to allocate that to other self-care, taking care of your children, school, etc. If you can stick to these blocks, then you treat them as non-negotiables, right? Even within your 9 to 5, you can even set different time blocks for different activities. The second thing I want you to do is prioritize. My darling, not all tasks are equal. Identify your top 3 daily priorities. That's it. 3 is the maximum, right? And focus on completing those tasks that day. Every month, every week, every day, identify 3 tasks that will take you to your goal. Okay. So for example, I love the rule of 3. I do everything by 3 maximum, because when you get to more than 3, it becomes difficult to get done when you are a busy person. At the beginning of the year, I set my 3 intentions. These are the 3 things I want to get done. And then I break them down. What will this look like every quarter? What would this look like every month? What would this look like every week? What would this look like then? And then eventually I break it down into every single day. How am I making progress towards that thing? And every time I do it, it's always in a rule of 3. That's it, right? So this way, if an urgent Airbnb X, Y, and Z issue arises, you can take care of it as quickly as possible, but then you schedule all of the less critical tasks for another time, right? And when I wake up every single morning, the first thing I try to get done are my top 3 priorities. Because I've written them down, their priority, I get them out of the way. There's a great book called Eat That Frog. We'll put a link for it somewhere around here. It's a great book that really helps to hone in on this concept. What is most important to you? That's what you should prioritize. The third thing I want you to do is delegate. You're a woman in corporate America. You most likely have some extra income that you could invest in hiring in a cost-effective way certain tasks that help you live better but that do not contribute to your overall goal. Use your resources wisely and outsource all of the unnecessary tasks that do not require your direct involvement. For example, house cleaning, laundry, sweeping, mopping, dusting. I will dare to say even cooking. Try to see if you can buy some food that you can just put in the oven. This will help free your time to focus on other things that actually require you to be present and more involved, like your children. If you have kids, don't you want to spend more time with your kids? And if you have to spend hours scrubbing the floor, doing laundry, that's time away from your kids. Yes, you can always involve your kids. That's the beauty of having kids, right? I don't have kids, so I can't use them as free labor. But if you do, that's a great opportunity to actually involve your kids, and now they are helping you in that process. Admin stuff. Are there any admin tasks in your life that you can hire a VA to do for you? My YouTube channel, I would not be able to even release one video a week, let me tell you, if I had to edit my own video. I have an amazing video editor who takes the load off my back. This frees up my time for content creation and strategizing and writing scripts. The fourth habit you are going to develop is what I call breaking the task block. What I mean by that is you will break large goals into manageable steps so that you can reduce overwhelm. I talked about that a little bit. Every year, I set my 3 intentions. I don't really call them goals. I call them more intentions, and then I break them down into smaller, more manageable tasks on a quarterly basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly and then weekly basis, and even sometimes on a daily basis. If you have, for example, a YouTube channel, or you wanted to do a bookkeeping, some sort of certification, bookkeeping, massage therapy, cosmetology, etc. You will start with the main thing, and then you will break it down into what do I need to study every single month? What do I need to study every single week in order to get to where I want to go? The 5th habit I want you to develop is self-care and recovery. You see, discipline isn't just about working hard. It's also about knowing when to rest. This is the thing that I struggle with the most because I have so conditioned my brain to go, 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 go. I don't know how to take a step back and rest. And the best way, in my opinion, if you are a go, go, go person, you need to actually schedule your rest time. When do you need to rest? When do you need to relax? So, for example, for me, my Friday nights are my days of rest. I shamelessly will do nothing every Friday night. No shame, no lie, right? The week was hard. On Friday, I will put my feet up and I would rest. I like having my cleaning lady usually come on Friday so that Friday during the day, the house is clean and that Friday night I can rest. I have a hard time resting when the house is a complete mess. But I love it when she can come over and that Friday, everything is cleaned and I'm good to go. And usually what I tend to also do that Friday is to take the time to reflect on my week, how it went, what I could have honestly, anything that I missed that I need to move on to the other to next week or maybe finish up that weekend. Because there's something about taking the time to rest and reflect that really helps to center your focus and to keep you intentional. So those two things are things that are integral to my productivity dynamics and that I'm almost never not reflect. Because every time I don't take the time to reflect, my life gets out of control. Or at least I feel like my life is out of control. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit how I structure my weeks. So it's an example, kind of like following my structure and some of the goals that I have and how I'm trying to achieve them. So currently, my life is a blend of structured chaos with a full-time job that really involves a lot of travel. I manage a few of my own real estate properties. I am ongoing right now trying to study for a bookkeeping certification. I'm actually reconsidering whether or not that's the right path, but I am studying for that. And also in my personal life, I'm trying to level up. If you know what level up means, right? Really becoming a woman that presents herself a certain way. And I'm defining what that means, right? What do my nails look like? What does my hair look like? What does my makeup look like? Right? What does my clothes look like? Right? And all of this requires time. And that's the biggest thing I'm learning is, boy, I haven't been looking a certain way because it requires time. To put on this, to get this face, you guys see me when I'm in the garden. I don't look like this, right? I look a hot mess because it takes time. And all of this can often lead to overwhelm. Working with my coach, I realized that my ideation to action approach needed to change. So I needed to stop jumping into tasks without a clear plan. And I remember my coach sitting there going, so explain to me the process of how you get things done, right? I'm so action oriented that most of the time I'm like, boom, jump. Right? What are we jumping into? Well, who knows? We're just taking action. So that was actually leading to unnecessary stress because I was doing a lot of things, but I was almost doing it without intentionality. And it's interesting because I thought I was intentional, but when I really started breaking things down, it was like, babe, come on. You are not being intentional in the approach that you're taking. So what I needed was a disciplined framework to manage my growing responsibility. So my action plan for improvement was more of a structured calendar that we're going to try to put here. So for me, 5 to 9, I wake up every day around 5 o'clock. Sometimes I will wake up right away. Sometimes I will kind of take my time, but usually between that 5 to 9, I am working on something for my YouTube channel. I'm writing a script. I'm creating the strategy. I'm talking to my VAs, right? So it's between usually that 5 to 9 time. And then around like 8 o'clock, I start getting ready for my full-time job. I work from home, so I don't really have to commute anywhere. Usually I need about 15, 30 minutes just to put on a little lip gloss, do my eyebrows, and then I call it a day. So from 9 to 5, I truly, fully prioritize my full-time job. and any travel commitments I may have for my full-time job. And then after 5 o'clock, that is really when I tend to focus on any other personal projects that I have, whether it's the new training that I want to do, whether it's working on my garden, working around the house. So that's usually my daily framework, and it's just kind of become normal for me. In the morning, like today, I woke up 5, 6 o'clock, started putting on makeup. Around 6:30, 7 o'clock, I sat down here to record a video. By 8 o'clock, I'll be done, and then I'm going to get going for work. Okay, so just feeding all of this in to my daily life works so well. And then on top of that, I also have my weekend structured. Friday night, that's relaxation and unwinding time. Saturday all day, I tend to focus on a work, like a personal project, right? Be it working in the garden, doing a school activity. And then Saturday night, that's my self-care night. Usually I'm popping on a movie in my new movie theater. We'll show you guys the before here. I transformed one of my garages into a movie theater. So it's movie theater, workout room, kind of like a place for me to relax. I would usually make sure I get my nails done, my hair done, right? Life got busy, so I don't have nails, but I will make sure that Saturday those nails get done. And then Sunday, that's usually prepping and getting ready for the week. On Sunday, I'm making sure that, I'm thinking through what am I going to eat for this week? Do I need to place a grocery order so that I have the food that I need for the week? This is when I also sit down and reflect on what did I get done the week before? What needs to be done the week after? I hope my discipline framework kind of helps you to structure your own week, because I promise you, it matters. It matters. If you're not really structuring your weeks effectively, it's very difficult to succeed and to reach your goals. So take the time this week to create your own structured, scheduled framework for your week. And honestly, that framework will change a little bit here and there as some things become more or less priority. In closing, discipline is a skill. And I use that word very strategically because a skill is something you learn over time. You don't wake up and become more disciplined. There's no such thing as X, Y, and Z is more disciplined than X, Y, and Z person. No. Every single one of us can become disciplined. And I'm going to have a series here that will show you exactly how you can move from lacking discipline and into developing the skill of discipline. And this is a skill that grows with intentional practice. My journey has shown me that even when you think that you're disciplined, there's always room to improve. You need a clear plan. You need structured habits. And you also need the courage to adapt it when things change. You can master discipline and thrive even in the busiest season of your life. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is for you to become consistent and intentional in your efforts. Discipline isn't about restriction. It's the key to freedom. So if you know somebody who could use this video, if you know somebody who is struggling with discipline and this person thinks that they can just meditate their way into becoming more disciplined, they can talk themselves into becoming more disciplined, invite them to this video and the series that I'm going to be doing here in the next month or so, because I am demystifying the notion that discipline is about working really hard in your own head, but it's about the intentional habit and practices that you do every single day. Thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to sharing this whole series with you guys. And of course, as always, I will see you in the next video. Thank you.